Yo, welcome to the series Armed and Ready, what you need to know to be an armed security guard. Welcome to Black Bear Tactical. I am Tactical O, and in this series, we're going to be talking about in the state of South Carolina, what it takes to be an armed security guard. We're also going to talk about the equipment that you need, things that are going to make your life easier. So follow the series if you're interested. First things first, you're going to need to be legal. And what that means is you're going to need a SLED card, and that stands for South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. Pretty much, it is a card that's saying that you passed the background check, you don't have any felonies or any crimes that involve your decision making and your morality. This license lasts for a year, so every year you have to go back and renew and apply for it. The course for it is about a 6-hour course. If you're unarmed, if you're armed, it's the 6-hour course plus a 4-hour range course. A qualifying course for the firearm, learning, when to use it, how to use it, what can you use, and then you have to go and take a qualifying test to make sure that you can shoot. You can get other certifications, like you can get certifications for pepper spray, you can get certifications for batons, you also can get certifications for handcuffs. All of those are at the discretion of the employer. So if they want you to be armed, then you can be armed. If they want you to carry a baton, then you can carry a baton. But all of that stuff you have to go through a training for. I'm not 100% sure about tasers because I see some private security people use tasers, but I've never seen that on the application process for your armed card. So to be a guard, first off, you got to be 18 years or older. In order to be an armed guard, you have to be 21 or older. Because they changed the open carry rule, I'm not sure if you can be 18 and be an armed guard. I'll double check on that. So anytime that you get an armed card, there's also an amendment to carry concealed. That is also an option. However, that is something that you have to pay for. You can't just be like, oh, because I'm armed, I'm going to carry armed concealed. That is not how that works. The amendment is only like $7 or whatever, but you have to be able to carry concealed in order to carry concealed as an armed security officer. Also, the weapon that you take your qualifying test with has to be the weapon that you use for duty. Though I am noticing now from when the first time I took the test, we had to write down the name, the model, or the make, the model, the serial number. Now, the last time I requalified, we only had to put down the make and the model and not the serial number. So there's a change in that. Have to make sure that you're fingerprinted as well. That's part of the cost. I think the cost for all officers is a base of 65, and then it's an additional 40 when you are armed. So at the first time that you renew, you go in and you pay the one something, and then when you renew again the second year, you only have to pay for the armed card because if you're armed, then you're automatically cleared for unarmed too. Also should mention that you can't just be a private security guard without being backed by a licensed security company. So all of your armed cards are going to say who you're working for. So if you're working for First Financial Security Company, if you're working for Allied, if you're working for AP Security, if you're working for Joe Schmo Security, it is going to say that on your card. This video is kind of long. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, make sure you guys drop it down in the comments. Episode 2 is going to be talking about duty belts and how to set those up.